Okay, so welcome back to Humankind. I've had a bit of an issue since last time. I think it's managed to delete my previous save. I'm trying to think if I maybe hit the wrong button accidentally or something, but it's doesn't appear to be there. Luckily, the game auto saves every turn or so no progress is lost really. In fact, I think I'm going to just quickly, just to be sure, save now just in case. But I think it's literally just before we started converting this outpost into a city here. So we're only a few turns behind. We do have some grievances we can demand here. So we can demand that they give us Mizar. The grievance will expire in 10 turns. I might want to wait though, because in a turn this grievance will disappear as well, so they can't then make too many demands in response. So we have finished our Faith District here, our stone circles, and if I remember from last time we decided, yes, to put a harbour over here. So we're going to do the exact same again. I don't see any reason why not to. And we've still got this outpost joined up to our capital here. And the goal is to turn this into a city, as well as this one down here, which we might be able to start right away here. And I'll link this city here to this one. And then again we're going to link this outpost here to this as a city. So that's kind of our plans for the future here. And it looks like we are very close to getting a builder and agrarian star. So we are very close to the next era. So we'll likely in the next 5 or 10 minutes or so hit the next era. So, oh, osmosis. Ah, we can see what these osmosis vents are then. Bronze working free. I probably should have read that tooltip a bit better then. Gatekeeper to the Bronze Age. Copper finds uses in weaponry, coinage, machine, medicine and decoration. Garrison. This is just what you get from bronze working. Science osmosis. We can lock it. If you dismiss that offer, you'll earn an instantaneous 105 tech boost. I'll just take the tech boost, yeah. I'm going to say it's going to immediately give us, yeah, so I think the tech boost there gave us all the science we needed for our current research and half to bronze working, which would queued up next anyway, so I think that would probably be the better call there. We are going to go, and I think just keeping into science here is probably a good idea, but science per state religion follower in the capital. So each population in the capital that follows our religion will give us 1 science. We also get +5 faith, and we get an additional max number of holy sites. In fact, I'm not sure it's that good actually. I'm wanting to get more science boosts, but it's only citizens in the capital, and they have to be following our religion. And the same here, but with money, stability, food, and industry. If we go with undertake pilgrimage, that's different though. It looks like we just get 10 influence straight up on our holy sites. So we could make our holy sites even better here. So our holy sites at this point would give us 10 influence per turn and 10 science per turn. that become super tiles. So I think we're going to go with that, and that will help me with converting our outposts into cities and get that builder star to get into the next era. We're also one tech away, which is just a few turns away, from getting the scientist star. So we might actually want to just wait in this era for a little while we get our science star going. I'm also going to move up here with this unit slowly but surely. We do have sailing now, so I can move these across to this island, have a look around, and perhaps put an outpost there as well. So the flooding from the last episode has given we've saved the people, and we get plus 15 food for 10 turns. So the Great Dyke was constructed in rapid time at my behest. The deluge didn't relent, but despite the endless rains, the capital and its people and property remained safe, only suffering some wet and shivering skin. Better yet, the farmland became even more fertile in the rain's aftermath. So we're going to get some population boom in Harappa for a little while. And I do think maybe I should come up with a better name for these places, but I'm not quite certain on any yet. We've got bronze working. We've unlocked a bunch of era stars. We've nearly got enough influence for us to get the Asphyte star. And yes, next turn we can convert this into a city. This is 14 turns out from being a city. And I think what we want to do next, let's have a look. Tech tree. So we will go masonry, irrigation. These are quite cheap, easy to get to. And then we're going to move toward... we'll go science, and then we'll just kind of go through and make sure we've got all these ancient era texts, I think, then at that point. Before we move on to the classical era. Right. The Olmecs feel differently about me.
I didn't think I could detest you any more.
They are hate-filled. Ooh.
Despite your good intentions, to accept so little would tarnish.
No, let me... I'm going to say let me get out of that screen. I want to have a look at these notifications because it's cycling through them as I'm trying to come out of the screen. Right, so we've got the Builder Star, we've got the... They feel differently. The Olmecs forgave a grievance, oppressing their people. The Olmecs withdrew their demands. We probably want to start building up armies just in case. They might be on the warpath soon. We will enter a new era in a little while. I'm going to see if I can get this last star before. Get that little bit extra score before we move on, seeing as we're close to one. I've got to remember to set that off. Right. 20 turns and that'll be a city. 12 turns and this will be one. Do we not have him by action yet? Let me have a look. Was it not one of these? No, it's trade expeditions. Damn. Right. That might be something to keep in mind then. We'll station them here for now. We don't have any civic points to be able to deal with this, so knowledge is power. Masonry researched. Okay, good to know. And we've finished our project here. Right. Let's see if we could build a... Ooh, so we can build a copper mine on this. That's probably a good idea. Oh, it's already queued, right, good. What else can we queue up? We can add an artisan's quarter to that. And that's probably good for now. And we are getting a ton of food. We are really ramping up the population here. Our stability is trending towards 60%. So you know what? Once we've done those, if we build a garrison, it will give ourselves a little bit of a bonus for fortification and combat strength for units in the area, but also it provides stability, which is very important. So we can use the garrison to maintain order. So +5 stability from districts if we have a garrison. So that will allow us to maintain order in the region while we expand. And I think that with that, cities will be ready in 20 or so turns. We can then attach our districts to them, well, our outposts to these cities. The Olmecs demand you kill. They've withdrawn their demands. Maybe we can propose some trade. Right, okay. That might sort of make them shy away from it. If we get a bit of trade going, get them friendly with us, that might sort of buy us some time. We should probably, however, look at... Again, we probably want to start looking toward gaining an army of some description. We'll have a look as well at the different civilizations available next. So we can keep our current civilization, but the problem with this is obviously you keep the same unique units and districts, which don't necessarily scale very well going on. We can go with the Axumites if we want to get money generated from trade. We get money per territories under religion's influence, so we'd want to spread our religion and go into a lot of trade agreements, and we get a unique swordsman unit here. We can go Greeks. We get unique anti-cavalry with the hoplites, and these seem to be all about science. So science per researcher. So all of our scientists will produce more science. So, and it looks like if we can build this building here, amphitheatron. I cannot pronounce Latin very well. We can get ourselves a lot of faith, and it will go up per era, so that actually scales into the late game. We can go Celts if we want to continue being agrarian. So if we want to be more built around food and expanding our population, we can stay and go with Celts. And we get a unique unit of, in true Celtic style, let's just run into battle naked, because why not? uh, we can go with the Goths for militarists. We get combat strength and ransacking, and we get a unique heavy cavalry unit. So we get bonus strength when ransacking and fighting on enemy districts, which stacks with our nimble pillage. So they're all about pillaging. We could, though, however, go with the Huns. Now, the Huns here, because I've heard about these hordes, they have the nomad bonus, similar to our tribes at the beginning. So whenever we ransack things, anything that will give us food will eventually produce another Hunnic Horde unit. So we get 3 units. And if we keep doing damage with them, we will generate more Hunnic Hordes. So they just spread in numbers. Yeah. We also get strength on cavalry and mounted cavalry, but our this is the downside though. We get an upgrade to our outposts, where this Ordu, it is a quote unquote upgrade to our outposts, but it allows us to train ground units. I'm not sure if the normal outpost can do that, but the problem is that you cannot attach this to cities. So if I want to attach my outposts to cities, I have to do it before we move era. I assume they remain attached then, unless taking this detaches them. I'm not sure. So I might want to, if I want to go with the Huns, it might be wise to build those cities, attach the outposts, and then go into the ancient era as the Huns. We can go as the Maurans. They are about influence, though we get 10 signs per independent people under patronage. That's kind of rubbish. There's only one of those nearby. And you can build a stupa that gives you influence, additional influence per district. They don't seem that great. Then there's the Maya that are all about building. And we get these ranged javelin units. Then we can go with the Persians. So we can get additional city cap, and they're all about expansion. So money for trade routes, influence, and money all on this unique building, plus influence for districts adjacent. So money and influence generating building, and these unique anti-cavalry that are stronger from fortified positions and high ground. Or we can go Romans that prefer to be together when they attack. We can see they've got this tactical superiority. Rear attack applies whenever there is an ally adjacent to the target, no matter what position. So they want to attack in numbers, and they get bonuses for doing so. And you get additional units in your armies, and you get these archers that provide influence and stability. And the Carthaginians have already been taken, so we know that the bears have already, so the brown bears have already taken the Carthaginians. So even though it's telling us that they're the Nubians at the moment, they're actually the Carthaginians at this point. They've bagged this culture. Which is another thing. How long do we want to put this off becoming the Huns, knowing that someone could take that? It's a good question. So, with some decisions to make there, and I don't know if I can wait for 10 turns, or 18 turns in that case, to find out. It might be worth just not having these outposts attached to our cities for the moment, so that we can move into the ancient era. At the very least though, I'm going to let these stars rack up just a little bit longer. When will we get the next science one? In 4. Great blue hole has been discovered, and the Carthaginians are buying more resources. We've gained more population, and with enough influence to claim a world wonder. So, Land of the Dead. For hundreds of years, the dead of Harappa have been laid to rest in burial sites within or close to the city's borders. Now, however, with a fast rising population and many dying every moon, these sites are becoming overcrowded. Future burials could lead to disease as corpses await processing. Cremation might be a wiser choice. So we can bury them to uphold our traditions, and that gives us production but lower stability. We can have soldiers to ensure obedience, but all will be cremated to ensure healthy citizens. That will give us food, but our unit costs will be increased for a while. Or we can go with privilege, so the religious elite will still be buried, but the masses must be cremated. And that gives us faith for 10 turns. We'll go with cremate. I don't want to give people special privileges, even though maybe the faith bonus might be better, but I think you can argue either way there. Foreign war declared. I assume that means a foreign country has declared war on another foreign country rather than it being me. I think it'd be a bit of a bigger warning if it were saying it were me. Right. Let's see how this is doing. So 14 turns. Babylonians. We've got that next era score. We are unlocking a lot of them actually. We could go for additional food and science here. We've got a port in that area, so might be worth doing. But I think if we go here we can show unclaimed world wonders. So the Hanging Gardens of Babylon will give us stability and score, but nothing else. The Pyramid of Giza gives us stability, score, and lowers the industry cost for districts by 25%. So that's a good one, that. Temple of Artemis will give us faith, a lot of stability, health regeneration on units, and 100 score, and our units ignore movement penalties moving through forests. So that's excellent, that one. And then there's Stonehenge, which will give us food per co-religionist state, stability per co-religionist state, faith, a lot of stability, and on our capital, food, 5% food of empire for each empire. Oh no, hang on. 5% food on the empire, on the capital of empires following the same religion, plus 5% stability on the capital of empires following the same religion, and 100 score. So I think on our capital we get bonuses for essentially each place we've converted, I guess. But we'll try going with Temple of Artemis for now. We're going to claim that. And we're going to build it somewhere where it's not really going to be. Because obviously these don't give you adjacency bonuses, so just building it out somewhere where there's nothing really that it's getting in the way of. So probably here will do. Just cover up this rocky outcrop that would only otherwise give us one production, so not wasting as good land for it. Everyone else is starting to enter the ancient era, so we probably want to really get on top of that now. 4 turns, just in case. I'm gonna go back over that save. In fact, we'll leapfrog the save over. I'll just double check as well that it's not doing any funny business, is it? It has. It has done some funny business. It didn't save over, it deleted it. So that's what's happening. Nasty thing. There's a bug. Accidentally deletes your saves sometimes. Unless I didn't read a tooltip. I'll have to look back at that, but I'm sure I told it to overwrite. Not delete. So there's a bug. Right. But I'll save that, and if we miss out, I'll just reload and we'll just have to pick it earlier. And we're nearly there. 2 turns on this one. 10 turns on that. The Persians. Gomizia. Where are we losing these populations? Here. Let me have a look. Ah, we've got overpopulation. And we've not used them for armies or anything, so they eventually decline. Where is this? We need stability here. Acknowledge. So here's what we're going to do. We need stability. In fact, it's... What's it on about? We've got 95% stability. That must be a glitch. That has to be a glitch. But we can now attach these regions together. And then... Now we're not getting... Yeah, -1. We need additional food. So... We can get +6 there. Or +3 up here. So this is terrible farmland, with it being mostly tundra. Here we can get +6. However, I think what we want to do is try so we can get +5 production up here. Let's have a look. What can we do? That'll give us +5 food. That gives +6. That will give us +3. We'll start with a horse ranch. But I think what I'm going to aim to do is try to expand the city out a bit and put our farms over on these open plains here once we've expanded out. With the Empire thriving, a new game hailing from a foreign land beguiles the population. Everywhere you go, the distinctive game board and pieces catching your eye. Insisting on a public demonstration, you play the game under instruction in your palace court, but the event has a sting in the tail. The game is reckoned to be a form of divination, as well as entertainment. Gasps could be heard as the game's prophecy became clear. You are fated to lose everything. What will you do? Silence. So we can silence people. Every witness will be paid off. We'll lose some money. Overlook. Let the people gossip. The prophecy will soon be proved false. We lose some stability. Or heed. We become superstitious. and we must listen to the divination and prepare for the worst. So -2 science for 10 turns. Do we want to become more libertarian? I assume that one's authoritarian. Oh yeah, it tells you up on the top here. Moves towards authoritarian, libertarian, or tradition. I don't think that's going to be a problem. We did just bolster the stability in Harappa with our outpost, not outpost, the barracks. Was it called an outpost? Too many things are called outposts. No, it's a garrison. Yeah. But we just built one of those there. We'll be fine, and the Temple of Artemis will probably shut a few people up for a while. And yes, we are just unable to generate more population here. They've got nowhere to go, so getting that into a city will be useful. The birth of writing has permitted word of your great deeds to be recorded and disseminated among your people, but it has also allowed a person's debts to be tallied. In the past, a person's debts died with them. Now they are inherited by their offspring. However, in the new city of Mohenjo-Daro, the political leadership wishes to strike these debts from the record for anyone who makes the city their home. What do you say? We can assent. The Empire will take on the debt of any citizen who comes and makes it their home. That moves us towards liberty. We get +2 population, so 50 population for 50 gold per population there, so we're essentially buying people. It's literally just over 1 turn worth of money. That's nothing. Those owed will be happy to hear their interest paying monies are still due. So we get +5 money for 10 turns by denying it. That moves us toward individualism. This moves us towards liberty or restrict. In the interest of fairness, only those with small debts will be given the right to settle. We get 1 person. And that moves us towards progressivism. We'll assent. We've got the money. We've got the cash to splash. We can take that hit. And we've got the Maya arriving. This city is 6 turns out. I'm now getting nervous as hell. Right, save over. Are you sure you want to override? Yes. Did it delete it? It did. If I can spell correctly. Ugh. Right. Right, we have some production here now. And next move will be to get food. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to put this here. In fact, can I put a food district anywhere? No, it has to be bordering the other tiles. So if I put a garrison here, can I put industrial? No, okay. Then perhaps here we can then start putting down farmers' quarters. I want them along here. In the meantime, though, we can go and put down a harbour district to solve the food problem. And that does look like probably the best spot. I do like how it just highlights that for you. So we've got 80. Oh, wow. Wow. We can build 1 in each territory. So we can build 1 there and 1 there. That will solve food and give us a good science boost. So we'll end our turn. Organised warfare has been researched. The Greeks are in. And again, we need to either get more room for people, or we need to start expending that population, turning them into units, essentially.
Do something clever today. Sign this treaty.
Give me a moment to think, friend.
Non-aggression pact.
Please
We're not
accept
even.
your proposal, friend.
Finally.
We're not even near each other, so I don't see why I'd bother wanting to go to a war with them. I'm happy to see that they are willing to go into non-aggression pacts. So we might not need that army right away after all. Leadership. Do we want to be the sole ruler and move towards authority, or have a small council that moves us towards liberty? Same bonuses, just differences to which path we want to be going to here. I think we can just postpone that while we look at other ones that give us actual bonuses. So, actually, no, that does, doesn't it? It's just not different. So yeah, we'll go with a small council. We'll get that extra city cap. Independent peoples. How should we use others? Mercenary armies, or assimilate them. So that moves us towards homeland. This moves us towards world. I would actually like to assimilate, and that's our civic points. And we probably want to start looking into religion soon. See if we can get some more religious bonuses. Right, we are running into the 35-minute mark. We are still losing population, so I really need to use those. We're losing them as quick as we're gaining them. The Carthaginians are afraid of me. I have grown large in size. Okay. Independent people roaming around. And we've got another era star. We are... Is this going to go away? If I click on it, yeah, there we go. I don't like you being there. Hold on, one moment. Toggle buyout. Mind you, if we wait, how many turns is it? 3 turns. Come on.
Listen very glorious.
Non-aggression pact. Last available line. So, a troubling truth has emerged from Mohenjo-Daro. Many servants have been castrated at the command of the local ruler. These eunuchs are believed to be more loyal, and they are said to play a number of roles from courtier to singer and to guards. So, we can move towards individualism. We can punish them for industry and minor stability. That moves us towards authority, or we can adopt this and move towards tradition and get stability but lose industry. I don't like that you're mutilating people. Please stop. Also, finish those harbours. Come on. We're a few turns out. Signs for state religion followers on holy sign. State religion followers on holy signs, +1 to the number. +5% per co-religionist states on empire. Influenced state religion. Ooh. I'm trying to figure how... I don't know exactly how much science and stability this would be worth. I think this is just 10 stability in each one. I'm going to go with intellect. I want to keep that science lead that I have. please become a city? Thank you. And that's, oh, that's attached. Right, there we go. We've attached that city. Lawful. Yes, I understand you want me to build a holy site, but also go away. I might have to turn these tooltips off in future playthroughs, I think. I'm keeping them on now because they're useful finding things out. I'm still not fully aware of everything in the game, but still, they're becoming vaguely annoying at this point. So I probably want to get industry first more than anything else, but I believe an artisan's quarter. Let's have a look. So yes, we'll place an artisan's quarter and a harbour up here. I'm going to say, can I put an additional harbour down there, perhaps? It looks like I cannot. But we will exploit that salt resource. And, on that note, I do believe it's time to choose our ancient era culture. What kind of religious society do we want? The functions of government are separate from religious institutions. You will become immune to religious grievances. State atheism. We oppose religious institutional power in all aspects of public and political life. Minus 75% foreign religion strength bonus. Plus 25% faith on territories under a religion's influence if territories follow the state religion. All religious civics are locked and invested civic points are reimbursed. So we can just refute our religion, or we can become secularist. But we don't have civic points, so...
As urban centers grow, both ideas and sewage are generated at a record pace. Arts and sciences flourish as military tactics and mathematical equations become as coveted as physical goods. Empires struggle to control these intangibles, however, as some might trouble their stability.
I do like these little cutscenes. It's now like panning across our empire and that's quite nice. What's happening here? It's like buildings flickering in and out here. Oh well. Anyway. And I think on that note, so also from the looks of things I did make the right call. Even though we've become the Huns and it's upgraded these outposts into whatever it is that there were, them other unique buildings, it looks like they have remained attached. So we can now look at science, and you have reached a new era. Yep, all the technologies from this era are now available to research. So that's a point as well. When you run out of things to research, you can't move on to the next era. You can't move on to researching these things until you move on your era. So we've been losing a little bit of science there. Anyway, we'll get embarkation so we can move across the water to get that next territory and start expanding outward. And I think then we'll go into probably aqueducts, sounds good to me. And then going into research quarters. And then eventually Going into going into a bit of warfare. Sounds good to me. Right. So, I'm going to end it there, I think, for today. I'll make sure it's saved. Hang on. There's campaign 1. So, overwrite, but has it deleted it? It has. Campaign 2. Save. Right. And we'll continue from here next time using our new, if I can find them, Hunnic hordes. So we'll be able to gather food to fight through fighting and ransacking in order to multiply. So we'll see if we can find anyone nearby that we might want to take over. Or can we even? You are not a patron to this independent people. Cannot be done as independent people are already patronized by another empire. Okay, so if I praise them and bribe them, increase the patronage. The Olmecs are trying to get them. So if I praise and do that, I can eventually assimilate, and I might be able to get that city then. That might be something to be working towards as well. But again, we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. And yep, we'll continue in the ancient era with the Huns.